Greetings everyone and welcome back to Expeditions Viking, where in the last episode we decided that we were going to head to Orkney rather than going back to Scarborough and then working our way up to Perth. We'll work down from Orkney instead. We now have a new quest and we really do need to get to Perth rather sharpish. Let's have a look. The Helsot Curse. We need to ask about the Helsot in Perth. So that is pretty much one of the highest priority quests that we have right now. Right, let's make our way across the waves. It's going to take us a good couple of days, but in that time, you know, that'll knock a little bit of time off all of the work that we're doing in the armor. It's a rough day on the sea. Thor races across the sky and his chariot whips the waves into a frenzy. As the storm reaches a crescendo, lightning strikes the mast of the Aavak. Oh no! Spend turn wood and have a herdman hold it for the remainder of the storm. No, we'll use 20 wood, that's fine. There we go. Oh. Who should help you repair the mast? Well, it should be one of my crafters, realistically speaking. I think you're probably one of the best people to do this. Can I get a couple of you? No, just one. There we go. With Higa's help, you repair the mast as best you can, despite the weather. You manage to get it nice and sturdy. Thank goodness. That would have been particularly bad if we hadn't managed that. Right, okay, let's see what Orkney is going to have to show us. I'm noticing that we are actually making some good progress across this. That's a little bit worrying. Right, let's take Aslifir. We'll take Nefja. Morkant, you can stay behind here. We're going to take Roskva, Gunnar, and one more. Perhaps we should bring Ketil out with us. Yeah, Ketil, come along, you. Let's get out there and have a look around. You're a little bit hesitant at the moment, and I think perhaps spending some time with your friends might calm your nerves a little bit, as long as we don't do anything that you find particularly unpleasant with your fragile sensibilities. Oh, Ketil, you really are dragging the herd down a little bit. You're questioning all of my decisions. It's not good. It's not good for us. As soon as your feet find purchase, half a dozen haggard-looking warriors come running down the cliff. From their clothes and their weapons, you identify these people as Northmen. The man at the front is short and wiry, but with strong forearms. You estimate him to be somewhere in his early 30s. He walks with his shoulders drawn up, like he's spent his entire life in a gale. I am Steen, the Clever of Rogland. I control this island. Who are you? My name is Aavak Bjarnason. Bjarnason, rather. If you need a place to stay while you prepare for a longer journey, you are welcome to camp here. But tell me, why have you brought your ship to my beach? It is my beach now. Let's not go that one. Oh, this one might be an interesting one. Wow, this is going to be a bit of a difficult question. A friendly hearth would be welcomed. I've come to seek trade partners. Will you be willing to talk terms over a mug of mead? Perhaps. Or we could properly start looking to attack the south. Yes, I think we're going to go with them staging the campaign against the Kingdom's Britain. He laughs heartily while his men sort of casually form a line on either side of him. You want control of Orkney, in other words. You want to rule us. You're not the first man who's come here and tried to wrest control of Orkney away from me. In fact, I myself took it from a man called Vidar, who took it from the Picts. Let's see. Am I taking it from you will only be a natural progression? I mean, that's true. So a fealty to me, you can save your strength for the invasion. I would prefer that. Why don't you and your herd join us for our midday meal, and we'll talk it out over a cup of mead. Well, you know, that seems reasonable. This is probably where it's just going to be full of poison, but I'm going to accept it. We could use a well-cooked meal. I accept your invitation. He holds your gaze for a moment, and his smile is surprisingly charming. Come then. This way. Alright, fair enough. Now then. Oh my lord, there's going to be so much stuff for me to tax. So much tax. But I can't tax just yet. I need to keep pace. Okay, now I know where you're going. I can maybe tax a little bit. Just you know, ooh. Oh, padding, I accept. I accept a lot. Oh, so much taxable loot. Or rather, taxable crates. I mean, of course, there's taxable loot. The loot is what I'm taxing, but I'm getting it from the crates. What's the current ore? A shovel, rather. Alright, I'll take a shovel. Right, we've made our host wait far too long. Let's get in there. I like the house. I like the moss roof. Right. I've got a funny feeling this is going to go. Oh, right. Ooh, it's just me and you. Yeah, alright, fair enough. Steen the Clever. Steen leads you into a low cabin, built out of large rocks of granite. A longhouse this is not, but it's fairly cozy. One of his men brings in a soup of fish and root fruits, along with some reasonably fresh bread. Your respective herds eat in the other buildings, so you and Steen have plenty of space. So you're from the south, I take it. Geatland? We're from a place called Skjern in Jutland. What of you? Where is Rogaland? Steen allows a glimmer of melancholy, presumably caused by homesickness, to show through his voice. It's a kingdom between Hordaland and Agder, right across the sea from here. It's a beautiful country of billowing mountains cut through by deep blue fjords. In the summer, the sun flows through the mists. They are like ribbons of gold, and melted ice trickles down the mountain in 100,000 small streams. In the winter, the snow turns those mountains into clouds of shimmering light, and the fjords freeze almost to the bottom. That sounds incredible. You must really love your home. It's a harsh country. Even the plants are rugged, stubborn things. You don't realize what home means to you until you're away from it. Do you skate on the fjords in the winter? He flashes you a boyish grin that makes him look 10 years younger. We have no choice. You can't get anywhere in winter without a pair of skates or a set of skis strapped to your feet. Did you say skis? What's that? His eyes grow wide. You don't have skis where you're from? How do you cross the mountains in the winter? We have no mountains either. He laughs for a long time. When he stops, he has to wipe tears from his eyes with his sleeve. You should visit Rogaland once. I'll teach you how to ski. Steen has bright blue eyes that seem to keep smiling even when the rest of his face reverts to a more neutral expression. That's a lovely way of describing someone. So, you're home. Skjern, wasn't it? You're the Theng there. How did that come to pass? My father was the Theng before me. He met his end on these islands. There were other challenges, but I won the right to succeed him. You said your name was Bjarnason? I think your father's ship may have been by here. He had his brother with him, name of Grimulfur. That's right, you met him. Grimulfur, yes, but not your father. The ship had a skeleton crew, just 5 men led by Grimulfur. They mentioned that the ship belonged to a Bjorn, but something had gone wrong and they were heading home. So they saw him on the way back. Grimulfur sold me his axe in return for supplies and lodging. It's a fine weapon. If you see him again, please pass on my regards. I will. He stayed behind Skjern. Seems he's had enough of raiding. Steen snorts, generating a small disturbance on the surface of his soup. Can't say I'm surprised. It seemed they'd suffered quite the series of disasters, though they refused to talk about it in detail. Oh, that's a shame. If you think you might have the need of his axe, I'll be happy to sell it back to you. It's a fine weapon, but I fight best with a light weapon in each hand, and the axe is too big to use one-handed. That might be an interesting one. If you've been here long enough to have met Grimulfur, that means you must have met School Skullcleaver. Once, last summer, he came here with 3 ships, laden with lumber, meats, salt, and other supplies. He seemed to get along quite well with the crew of Gunnar the Peaceful. Yes. Speaking of which, did my eyes deceive me back there, or was that Gunnar on your ship? It was him. He's part of my herd now. Steen scratches the back of his neck with a sheepish grin on his face. How in the name of Odin did you recruit him? That man's a legend here. Oh, fantastic. I was right to bring him. He and his crew attacked my clan. We fought him and won, and I offered to spare him for his service. You beat Gunnar the Peaceful? If that's true, you and your warriors must have no equal. I'll have to ask him about it later. Anyway, I was telling you about the Skull Cleaver. See, I imagine if we had just charged in all gung-ho and demanded fealty on the spot, we wouldn't be having this awesome conversation right now and getting all this information. We bought most of School's cargo, and he set out towards the east from whence he came. He left one of his ships here, under the command of a woman, which sailed southwest a few weeks later. Can you describe this woman? Yes, she too made quite the impression on me. I would say she closely matched my expectations of what it might be like to meet hell in the flesh. Oh, I think I know the one. She made strong advances on me, but I frankly got the impression that certain parts of my body weren't likely to survive the encounter, so I politely kept my distance. Alright, I think we've gotten to know each other quite well. Let's talk about how I might gain the allegiance of you and your people. Let's go into this more as a conversation rather than just, right, it's time for you to swear fealty. He seems to honestly consider that for a good long while. Then he leans forward, resting his elbows on the tabletop. All right. The way I see it, there are two ways we can do this. First option, you hire us. Honestly, you seem to know what you're doing, and you seem quite determined to do it. My crew and I don't come here to enjoy the good weather. We're here for gold and glory. You can purchase our service for 100 ortung of silver per head, and 400 on top for the ship. The Unblacker is a hell of a steed, and her crew is as experienced as any you'll find. If you hire us, I'll throw in Orkneyar for free. Of course, you may not be keen to part with your silver. That brings us to the second option. We fight. You and your people against me and my people. We go to the cliffs outside right now and see who fights best. If you win, you have my allegiance. If I win, you piss right off. Well, I'm fairly confident of our abilities. Very confident about our abilities, but if I had the silver, I would take it, but I don't. So we could go elsewhere. No, we're here now. And I feel that this would be a good test of our mettle, really. I mean, if we intend to actually take the islands of Britannia by force, if we can't take Orkneyar first, then that pretty much answers that question, and we should possibly start looking for trading partners. Or, at least he said, you can just leave if that's the case. So it doesn't sound like it's a fight to the death. Sure, we'll fight it out. He shrugs, and you think you see a hint of disappointment in his eyes. As you wish. I will prepare my crew for a fight. I'm disappointed. I wish I had the money, but alas, I do not. And you just left, and that means all of this stuff is for... no, we're not going to steal it. No, we're going to have an honourable battle, damn it. I am sad that I couldn't afford it, but alas. I've given more... Well, I don't know how many soldiers he had. I've certainly given more than 400 Ortung away. But... Alright, we've got a decent group here. Got a strong group, yeah. Alright, let's help ourselves to some taxes before we go anywhere. Sure, I'll grab this. Now, where do we need to go? The cliffs from here, apparently. This is quite a limited little map. That being said, no, we're just in the very, very bottom corner, it seems. Yes, we're in the very bottom corner. But, Karungur. Let's have a chat with you. A weather-bitten man with a thick, dark beard streaked with grey stands up and brushes breadcrumbs off his tunic. So he didn't manage to wrest control of Orkneyar away from Steen? I'm sure he'll get another chance soon if you want it. If you ask me, Steen seems thoroughly tired of the responsibility. And you are? I'm Karungur. Honoured to make your acquaintance, Thing Aavak. Where are you from? I hail from Agder, the closest of the northern kingdoms to where you're from, or so I've heard. A lot of ships come up the coast on the way between Vestfold and Alfheim and Hordaland or Rogland. I'm butchering these names, I know. So it's a good place for a merchant, but lately competition had gotten a bit fierce. Up here, there's no competition at all, so I'm doing well. What are you selling? Whatever the ships bring in that looks useful. Here, take a look. Okay, well, we really didn't have much money, did we? No. Okay, well, we don't actually need to trade anything. Okay, move along. Right, I need to find where I've got to be. I did mention up on the cliffs. Is it up here? I mean, this seems to be going up a cliffly way. Yes, here we are. Very well. Stain looks entirely fired up for a refreshing skirmish. He paces back and forth in front of his herd, who give an overall impression of being tired, but determined. Right, ready to show me what you're made of? He's already told me that that's what will happen. I've no reason to question him on it. I trust him. You better believe it. Come on. As Nefja offers a word of caution. These men are all a bit worse for wear, but they seem to have a lot of armed combat experience. If we want them on our side, we should probably be careful not to kill any of them. A single experienced blade, more or less, can make a great difference on the battlefield. Start the fight. Right, obviously, no killing. No killing at all. That is naughty and not allowed. And what do we want to do? We want to draw people in to attack. Now, got a couple of people. Stein's a decent one. Nefja can move in. We can get up around behind you if we can. I'm not in a good position there. I'm really not in a good position, actually. If we swap out your weapon, what kind of shots can you make? You've got a 71% chance there. Got a 61% chance over there. Got an archer over here, 56. Not particularly good. Gunnar? Ultimately, what I want to do is lure you down to me. Can I get Nefja up and around? This is a big question, because if I can, I'm going to be able to do an awful lot of damage. So let's try that. Let's hope that Nefja can reach. Yes, she can. Perfect. Right. Okay, so I want you to charge attack. No, I really want you to charge attack. Damn it. Alright, fine. Let's move you in then. You can attack from here. Go for it. See what we can do. That's fine. As Nefja, I want you to draw them to you. And I would like you to be reasonably far away. Maybe even down here, perhaps. Right, taunt them. Come on. Please work. Go for it. Perfect. Okay, so that shield is out of commission. That means I can drop back. I'm going to have to run through here, but that's fine. And from here, swap my weapon out. There we go. I can also drop down a ranging shot. There we are. It's going to light you two up. Now, you should have no particular defenses here, so let's just go for a solid blow. There we are. Harried. Now then, if I go for a couple shots here, yeah. Quick attack is, well, we could just take you out, but you're stunned, so it doesn't really matter for us to do that. Let's instead aim for, yeah, it's going to have to be you. Now, the question is, if we do that, Moskva is going to have to do a bit of work there. What I could do instead, going for a charge, or even a charge all the way. Well, no, we're not going to be able to do that one, but oh, if you could, though. The damage you would do. The damage you would do. Okay, let's get in. Go for it, just wallop. Perfect hit. Beautiful, in fact. Now, Roskva. At this point, Kettle might be able to take them out, yeah. Go for 2 quick shots. You've got 95% chance. You're gonna make it happen. If you get a critical, I can spend it on something else. No, I can't. Okay, fine. Take them down, please. And that's 1 down. Okay, now I want Roskva to do much the same. I want you to draw. I could even pull one of the archers in close. That would be useful, but if I can pull you in, you might get stunned, which would be a little bit more useful. And this is a tricky one, actually. This is actually quite a tricky one. So we've got 3 potential archers here. What I would like is to draw them out. Now I'm going to have to rely on you having a really good 7% chance to crit. You're a healer. So you're going to be focused on trying to heal. So let's just pull out an archer. Hopefully he's going to run straight past Gunnar, get walloped in the face, stunned. Never mind, just straight up incapacitated. That also works. Works well enough for me. Okay, as Leafir, I would like you to move back up. There we go. That'll be the end of that turn. Yeah, you're gonna wait. You're gonna use up your turn trying to heal. Are you gonna be able to pull them out of stun? I'm not sure. No, you didn't. They're actually moving in. Ooh, flank. That's not good. Ouch. Stunned. Still, not a bad setup for us, especially because they just moved over tiles that are difficult for them to deal with. Okay. Now then, I could have you just charge in. Catil, let's go for your quick attacks. Oh, they've got cover. There's a good chance you're going to just plink off the shield there. Alright, Nefja. If you hit the shield, you're going to take it out. Yeah, there we go. That means Catil can follow up with 2 quick shots that will take them out. There we go. And another. Very nicely done. Now what I can do is have a Leafir charge in. Ideally, I would like you. Well, yeah, go for the healer. It'll force them to back out if they want to attack. They'll have to use tactical retreat, or if they want to heal themselves, which they may well do, but they might not get the chance. Got a 90% chance with a quick shot, so let's go for this. There we go. And follow up with a shot over there, I would say, because Roskva may be able to do some serious damage with that. Oh, missed. Bad luck me. Alright, you're flanked. You're in a bloodthirsty state right now. Well, we'll do a bit of damage. Go for it. 35 damage. Good enough. You can hold position there. I'm going to have Nefja move up, since from here she'll be able to hit either one. You're fine there. Okay, end turn. No longer stunned. Okay, using tactical move to get out there. No longer got the flank ability. That's fine. You're unbalanced. We can tank that blow without particular concern. Alright, I'd like you to charge in again. There we go. And it was a good shot too. Very nice shot. Alright, okay. Well, I could just have you go for a cleave. Oh no, that doesn't work. What's cleave then? We can attack that is always blocked, but any damage not absorbed by the shield. Ah, right, okay, yeah. I could go for a stun, but they've got a helmet. Or I could just, honestly, just... Never mind. I forgot who I was controlling. It's Gunnar. Gunnar doesn't need... Doesn't need to do anything fancy. Just hit things really, really hard. Let's do a charge attack, because if they don't block it, then it's going to take them out. And absorbed, okay. Very well. In that case, we could... Honestly, we're going to switch our weapon type. Go for it. Sure. Try and hit them with that. And we'll just have all of our archers take a shot. Just a regular shot, though. Because at this point, if one of you manages to... Oh, really? That was terrible. If one of you manages to hit, then it's going to be lights out. 95%. Come on, Kettle. Don't get blocked. Well done. Very well done. That was not bad. That was not bad at all. Okay, no injuries for us. 5 skill points. The fight is won, and Stain gets back on his feet, almost as if nothing had happened. The rest of the men are looking a little more worn out. For all my flippancy, I must admit this is pretty much what I expected. Last summer we would have put up a much better fight, but the winter has taken its toll on us. I don't mean to diminish your skill, of course. You and your herd fight well, but I ask you not to judge us on this defeat. We're not in good shape right now. Well, yeah, I actually noticed that, honestly. Anyway, a deal is a deal. I swear to fight under your banner. My men are sworn to fight with me. However, with service comes responsibility, and we're very short on food. Okay, fair enough. Very well. Give 120 rations, sure. We've brought food on the Aavak. It should keep you well fed for some time, and let you feed the rest of the army when they begin to arrive. Zane nods and signals to his men, who walk towards the beach to fetch the supplies. Thank you, Aavak. You are gracious in victory. We will serve you well. Fantastic! Dominion over Orkney is yours. Clan power has increased. Well, that was awesome. It's a shame I haven't got power-based buildings, really. Alas. If only I'd realised. What is this? Is it something I can interact with? Because it's kind of showing up as if it is. Maybe not then. Very well. Let's continue having a look around. There's plenty of plants up here. Some sort of garden. Well, actually, no. This looks like... honestly, if it weren't for the central burnt-out structure here, I would say this looks like an Iron Age home. Well, I mean, I say home, but it was kind of like a clan home. But given the footprint of this, no, not quite. Still, it's an interesting structure to be sure. What else are we going to find up and around here? Right, well, that's the edge of the map. Okay, let's continue to look through. We've got plenty of herbs. Roskver should be able to make quite a lot of medicine with all of this. In fact, not just Roskver. In fairness, there's quite a lot of our herd are quite able when it comes to herbalism. But that was a decent battle. It doesn't look like a very particularly large map, honestly. Alright, well, let's actually have a look at our clan. Clan power is now at 33. That's actually really nice. That's really nice. Man, if we actually had gone down here, that would have been particularly good. But, oh well, it's done now. I don't see any means of changing our mind now that we've done it. But let's hope that we can just generate more and more power as we go. Well, that being said, I wouldn't mind a prosperity victory. Just victory itself is more than enough. We're not out here for fame and glory. Well, maybe a little time. Maybe come on, just a little bit of glory. It's not asking for much. But we are here largely, first and foremost, to protect the clan, and for that, whatever means works. Right, there we go. That is it. Wow, okay. Let's have a word. Some months installed, it occurs to you that you've never seen it empty. As usual, he stands up when you approach and puts both hands on the table. Let's trade. Well, I don't actually need pretty much anything you've got, so I guess we're not really going to trade, though I am now fairly shy on. Well, no, we've got a lot of rations as it happens. We're doing fantastically well. Okay. Let's go and see. Is there anything more that we can do in here? Because that is not a bad little victory. Showed up on an island, and now it's our island. It feels like I'm playing Total War. Staying the clever. Jarl Aavak, always a pleasure. I hope you don't already regret assuming control over this windswept piece of rock. No takebacks. Fair enough. How goes the assembly of our army? An apologetic shrug raises Stain's shoulders. We're barely getting started. Don't get me wrong, I've done much with smaller forces, but what we have here is a large raiding party, not an army. We have barely a dozen longships at our command, which should give us around 3,500 warriors. We would need more than the element of surprise to invade with such numbers. Are you planning a new raid? I'm always thinking about arranging another raid, but no serious plans now. You might be interested to know I've sent word to a few acquaintances in Rogaland letting them know what you're up to here. I think they'll be more than willing to join your army when you launch the invasion. Very well. Okay. Take care. First, I just need to raid a couple of places just to gain strength and maybe some money to gain strength. And now all of a sudden I'm leading an invasion in Britain. I mean, some days things just escalate, I guess. I'm not totally against this. Oh, that's a sound of stuff going on. Okay. Oh well, let's go and have a quick look-see. Is there anything more for us to do down here? I don't think so. Edis? No, nothing. All right. Well, looks like we control this now. Is there anything else we can do? Was there anything down here? Viking? Don't see anything that we can do with it. All right. The final expedition, no. King of the Picts, ladies' favors and savory dealings. There are 2 kings. Alright, well that's fine. Let's go back to the Aavak and see if maybe this has opened up any other places that we can go. Certainly wouldn't mind camping so that we can try and build some better gear. Right, that's it, really? Wow, that's actually fantastically and good. I was hoping that we could perhaps head down here. Alright. That's interesting. It's going to take us a few days to get down there, though I guess that will give us 3 days and 23 hours until we get the armor set up and we can then set up the next thing. We'll get down there in a day. But look at that time. A brisk wind has been carrying you well through the day when all of a sudden you hear the unmistakable call of seagulls. Aavak, look! A boat! You look to where Edis is pointing and see a small boat floating in the water. Looks to be a fishing boat, but it's awfully far out for such a small vessel. It floats too low on the water to be empty, but you see no one on board. Small mast juts up, but no sails hang from it. Change course towards the boat. You approach the boat slowly. When you're just about to board, you see an old man and a young boy who lie bloated on the bottom boards. They must have been fishermen. They look to have drifted for a long time. We're going to take the cargo. They don't have much. Honourable followers have lost morale. Greedy followers have gained morale. But you find a barrel of salted fish that is still good and will keep for quite a while. Moskva speaks up once you've taken what little you can find. We should dispose of these bodies somehow. Put their spirits at rest. We'll torch the boat. You set the boat alight. Superstitious followers gained morale. Skeptical followers have lost it. And push it gently away from your ship. The fire grows as the distance between the vessels increases. Eventually the boat starts taking on water, and the fire extinguishes it as it sinks into the sea. It was as good a funeral as anyone could ask for. I mean, you know, they weren't our enemies, they were just unfortunate. It could be any of our fate as well. Hopefully, should it be, then someone will give us such a funeral. As morning approaches, you notice another ship is slowly gaining on you. It's still only a small silhouette on the horizon, and ahead of you, fog banks are hugging the calm waters like a blanket. I'm tempted to find out. Come to a stop and wait. When the other ship catches up, it's clear that you're dealing with another Norse longship, and you recognize the sail as the colours of a clan allied with yelling. The crew of the other ship starts taking potshots at you as soon as they're within arrow range, and by a stroke of bad luck, one of the projectiles nails Nefja in the shoulder. Oh, right. You send a few shots of your own in their direction, but then the crew of the other ship seems to finally get a good look at the Aavak and loses their nerve. Their small and nimble ship turns quickly and flees at full sail. Oh, we don't even get to take revenge. Oh, that's so annoying. Nefja's got a wounded, severe puncture. Ow, drat. Okay, well. Nefja, you're coming along. We'll take more cans. You're indifferent. You're no longer hesitant, which is good. Ooh, Moskva is devoted. Very nice. And Gunnar is pleased. Double very nice. Actually, let's take Sarah with us. That means we're down to only one shield bearer, though. No, we'll take Edis. There we go. Well, that wasn't particularly great, but we're only popping into Scarborough in order to make our way out and then up. I really had hoped that we wouldn't have to waste time sailing like this, but I guess it's not awful. But we are going to have to make our way over land to Perth. And considering how close we were, oh, that hurts. That hurts so much, but I think we should be able to manage. But that's where we're going to end this episode. So we're back on the British Isles. Now, we technically have an army as well, which is kind of awesome, I must confess. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode and will be joining me for the next, where we're going to start making our way very rapidly towards the north, where hopefully we're going to be able to find whatever it is that we need for Nefja's sister. But that's it from me. So until next time, and as always, do take care, everyone.